So getting the valve block sorted out in the last video was a big boost mentally. I've been battling that one for a while, as you can see. It's looking good. Little recap. Unfortunately though, this space is still blank, so we need to fill that. The last few months that has been filled with my old tank with cardboard ends on to mock up the shape of the new tank. So this was our old tank here, as you can see, quite small going by my hand, welded ends. This thing's maybe 15 to 20 years old. I bought it second hand when I got it, and I decided to splash out for a new one now that we've got this set up. So here we are, and you can already see how much bigger it is. So this one is a seamless tank, so everything's freeform, there's no welds. The ports, top corners, ends, and one underneath, and then these tank straps as well. So now we need to see how we're going to get this in. So let's take a look. We have issues to contend with everything with this, so let's see what we're dealing with. Shape and space is the biggest issue. So as you can see looking down here, I want the tank to run across here, but the floor eats in with the spare wheel well, and we have the fuel pump opening to contend with. I want to leave that accessible. I need to do something with this. So if I really wanted to be ignorant about it, I could drill holes in the floor, put, well, the most elegant solution would be to put riv nuts into it and then bolt it down. I didn't really want to do that. This thing has enough holes in the floor from previous adventures, shall we say, that need sorted, so I don't want to be adding any more. So I come up with this template and I knocked up in cardboard to sit here, and then I transferred that to some plywood, and then I sunk some screws into it. So these are actually aldated below, and this will sit like this. And the plan is that I'm going to bond this to the floor. So in theory, it should still be removable. I'm using Tiger Seal, so it might not be. But yeah, we'll get this bonded in. I'll set the tank in, show you guys how it's going to look, and then we'll see where we're going to go with the tank from there. So let's get on with it. So Tiger Seal is our weapon of choice. I don't know how removable this will be eventually, but let's give it a go. I'm not even sure how much of this I should apply. As I say, I do want it to be removable, but I also do want it to remove itself. You know what, I'm just going to go for it, why not? What could go wrong? The ideal situation is we don't have to remove this. Blending in the corners. We'll take our lovely freshly prepared plywood board with its Halford satin black makeup on it. I've become a bit obsessive with painting all this stuff satin black that you're never going to see, but also it's nice to know that it's just looking good. So that all looks good there. I'm not sure this corner on the distance, so I'll drop the tank in, show you guys, and I had a spacer block down the back to space it off this, and there's a little bit of wiggle room in it, thankfully, but that should get us close. So let's drop this in, see how it looks. This much more ignorant piece down this back side. Press that down in. Make sure it's getting into the bond. I don't think we're a million miles away there. Let me shift over a wee bit to there. Visually, it looks fine. Time to let that bonder set up and see what else we can get up to. So, like I say, I really like this tank, but I think the problem we're going to run into here is the carpet's black, everything surrounding it is black. The tank is black, and that's going to get lost in it. So I'm going to give this a little scuff up, get a prime, and I'll show you guys what we're going to do with paint wise. So despite having an air compressor and spray gun and everything else, I'm doing this with rattle cans, which is kind of annoying, but I don't have the room at the minute to spray anything, so it is what it is. And we've room assigned to outside. So I've taped the center up, the brackets and stuff, and I've primed everywhere else. There's a reason for this. A lot of this tank isn't going to be seen, which is why I don't really care about doing it with cans. It'll be fine. The center is going to be covered, the ends are going to be covered. You'll see as we progress with this what I'm going to do with it. this episode or the next episode, I'm not really sure, but bear with me on that. So this is primed. I'm going to set you guys here. As is exactly my luck, it has been 25 degrees for the last 3 weeks, and now it's going to rain when I'm going to paint outside. So here we go. So what you can see me using here is a can of Eastwood Aluminum Blast, and it's supposed to give like an aluminium effect. I think it's just a really nice color, silver, so I went with that. It was also left over from a project 3 years ago, so I kind of took a chance using it, but it seems to have worked out. So despite the fact that the rain was imminent, I did take my time. Nice long, even strokes, overlap at 50%, and 3 light coats instead of hammering 1 heavy coat on, which is the key with this. Take your time, do it right, you'll thank yourself in the end. A lot of times people are tempted to think it's just a rattle can, it doesn't matter. But honestly, that's when it does matter. These are less forgiving than a spray gun. So that's the tank painted, all the wrapping taken off it as well, and we're ready to install the fittings. So this tank is 5 ports, 2 in the top corners, 2 in the ends, and 1 underneath. They all kind of have different purposes, depending on what you want to do with your tank. However, we're going to blank these top 2 off because they're going to be on show and we don't want anything coming out of them. So we do that with these little blanks here. You can hopefully see that on the camera. So we'll start with those and take our thread sealer. So I've never had much luck with this style, but apparently this sealant is supposed to be fantastic. However, I will say it's very messy. So there's hand tight, and we want to go 1.5 turns again, roughly, until it feels right. One turn. One and a half, and that's pretty much flush. So I'll take that, and I want to carefully dab the rest of this way. I don't know if it'll stain the paint or not, but I don't really want it on the paint. Single pack paint out of the can be quite soft, so hopefully that's not affecting that. I'll dab it rather than rub it, but looks pretty good. Safe and sound. So the ends then are going to be these 90s. With this design, this is going to be covered, so I'm going to turn this down, or these are a swivel fitting, so they can go any way we want. These SMC fittings already have the thread sealant on them. We talked about this before, not a big fan of it, so I'm going to apply some of the sealer again. So it just needs a continuous bead around the first thread or two. That's it. We'll take it and we'll wind it in. So, right, that's as much as I can get with that. And take our spanner, half a turn, 1 full turn. Just actually check that these are swivels. Maybe they're not. Maybe they're just very tight. Oh, they are. That's good. Approximately 1.5 turns. If you can hear that chainsaw noise, that's my neighbour. If you hear screaming, it's probably the same neighbour and it's gone wrong. The underside then. So this, we're going back to 1/4 inch fitting. These are 3/8. Once I install this, there'll be a line out of this in the car to a shredder valve like you'd have on a car tire. And that does 2 things. This is right in the very bottom, so it acts as a drain for the tank, which is nice to remove water and moisture. But second of all, if your compressor overfills, you can plug it in like a 12-volt tire compressor, or if you're at a car, petrol station, or even like your garage compressor, plug it in, blow up the tank, you can get home. So I've always ran these. I've only ever had to use it once, but I mean, once is better than no being stuck on the side of the road. And there we go. What we have noticed as well is this fitting sits lower than the feet of the tank, so not only do we need to be careful when we're handling this, I got to space that up in the car. So I'll get the rest of these fittings in, we'll throw it into the car and see what we need to do. So the fittings are installed and the tank set back into the car temporarily. We'll have a look at how it looks. So yeah, you get the idea. The studs coming up through. There's a nut holding them onto the wood with Loctite on it. We have two washers, and that gave us the perfect height. So it's pretty simple to install. 4 nuts with spring washers on it. Get into the back, just pop the back seat down, and it should be good. Here's the thing, is this level? So let's take a look and see. I have a laser, as you can see, marked here, so we'll get some cardboard and see what we're like. So put this in line with the top fitting, touching the back seat. If I can do this with my left hand, and if I move it over to this side, same position, touching the back seat. There we go. Now, adjusting that, we could space it with washers or whatever, but the closer we can get it without washers or without extra washers is perfect now. So the other thing we need to do, we're at the stage now we're nearly ready to plumb this. However, there is 1 or 2 like critical features for making the system work that aren't installed yet, and they need to go onto this box, specifically on the back side of it. So we're gonna have to rip this out, get it over to the bench, and we'll talk about that there. So there's still some components left to make this air ride system work. A lot of these normally will go straight into your tank, but because the design that we're doing doesn't really lend to that, blanking off certain ones, certain ports on the tank, we'll have to get creative. So we have a water trap, we have pressure switch, and this cuts your compressor off at a certain pressure, obviously, then, stops overfilling the tank. And then we have a safety blow-off valve. So what this does, well, we also have the check valve as well. So the air comes in here, water trap. There will also be another water trap on the outside of the tank. So before anybody gets into that being wrong, there you go. So we have a water trap with a check valve. So once the air passes the check valve, it can't go back in. So it's trapped in the tank. So essentially from here onwards to the valve block is tank. It's compressed air. The pressure switch, as I say, will cut power to the compressor once it reaches its maximum pressure that we want. And then here with the blow-off valve. So what happens is if this fails and the compressor just keeps going and going, if it's healthy enough, it could burst the tank. So you're running around with a pressurized container in the boot of your car. It's essentially a bomb. So this is set to a lower pressure than, as well, slightly higher than this, but than the burst pressure of the tank. And what happens is it overcomes the spring, and that opens, and it's a safety valve release. So the plan is to mount this here, have our line out of our compressor, run around in here and out to the tank. So I'm going to do this pretty crudely, have these little clamps. This one fits nicely. This one I've built up with insulating tape, as you can see here. I'm just going to run some screws into the wood and space it out with some washers. So let's get on that. Lovely. So this can't slide anywhere this way, and obviously can't slide anywhere that way. So it is secure. Can rotate a little bit, but it'll not do any harm. So that's good. Now we're on to the point where we're starting to plumb this. So we're getting very, very close to this being a pressurized system. So that's pretty cool. And now this is actually the easy bit. This is nice. So a lot of these fittings, they're very, very simple. You see me do the hard lines in previous videos. These nylon or whatever they're made out of, these are like dot approved lines. So they're quite the same kind of thing comes with the airlift kits. So one thing I don't skimp on is fittings in airline because they're very important for seals. The other thing that helps them seal though is the ends cut nice and square. So the kits, a lot of them come with like a tube cutter for snipping the ends off, gets it nice and square. And then it's just a case of pushing into the fitting. Push it in, get a little tug, make sure it's nice. Go to the other end. We have the on the end of our compressor. Push that in. We can route this around the outside. We can take our little clamp, slip them on, screw it around, and we're done with that section. This end then will go out to the tank. Tank in here to the valve block, and it's a pressurized system, so it's pretty cool. We're getting somewhere. And with the clamps on, that's what it looks like. Clamp here, our leader line and our soft line, clamped along here, runs around into our water trap, and there we go. I probably will 3D print a little bracket or something just to hold that out so it's not rubbing against that sharp corner. It won't make any odds. They're pretty resilient, to be honest, but for peace of mind, I'd like to do it. So let's get this into the car and see how it looks. So that's the connection into the tank. That's the connection out of the tank. And there we have it, one sealed system. So it's been a long time coming, but the system is finally sealed up. Tank's painted. Actually, if we had power in this car, I could pressurize this system now if we really wanted to, but unfortunately we don't. But we can kind of guess where the next video is going to go then. So there we go. One last look at this. I won't turn the light on because the tank ends up looking a little gold, as you might have seen in some of the other videos, but I'm really happy with this. So our lines are in, You might notice that these are like kind of bowed out, and some people are like, why do you not just cut that shorter, root it nicer? It is good practice to leave a little bit of length. These won't be seen, which usually wouldn't really matter, but leave a bit of length in case the end gets damaged. You can trim it off and then it's nice and fresh to go again. So there we go. That's it for this video. If you like what you're seeing, please give me a like, subscribe, comment, do anything you can to support it, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks, folks. Bye bye.